Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nikki, known here as the One-Handed Bandit, and today I am using the Norvina palette. This is the volume 2, and I'm going in with this black shade here on the bottom right hand of the screen and the bottom right hand of the palette. And I'm adding the black to my crease area, so I'm just packing it on and building up the pigmentation. It's a deep black, but it's not as deep as I would like, so I do have to do quite a bit of blending and building up the pigmentation. So just cleaning off my brush so that I can go in with the next color. And I'm using this cool tone brown shade, and I'm just adding that right above the black, and I'm also blending that out as well, and that helps me build out, or helps me blend out the black so that it isn't as harsh and I don't look like a raccoon. Using black eyeshadows can be very tricky and they can go left very quickly. So this was a very challenging eye look to do today. Now that we have that blended, I'm going to go in with this burgundy shade, and I'm just going to add that onto my lid right next to where the black is, so the burgundy will meet the black, and I'm just going to blend it inward, but not completely inward, just on that little one quarter of that portion of my eye. Next, I'm going to take this shimmer shade in the palette. It's more like a denim, like, a light denim shade. But I don't know, it kind of picked off as a grayish gold. And that could be because of the base that I use on my lid. So maybe if I used a white base, it would have picked up the pigmentation much better. So now onto the face, I'm using the Urban Decay All Nighter Primer, and I'm also using the Black Opal foundation stick. Now this isn't my shade, it is in the shade Hazelnut. It is a little red on me, but I do like the way that it looks. So I'm using that color, and I'm also going to go in with a lighter shade of my concealer just to help balance out the redness in the foundation. So I'm using the NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer in the shade Armand, and I use that as a color corrector because that is a little bit red, and it helps balance out that darkness and my really dark under eyes. So now just blending out the foundation. I mean, this foundation is really nice. I really have to stop playing with myself and find my shade. I think my shade could be Nutmeg, so I really need to go ahead and find my shade and actually use my own shade. So just blending out that foundation, and you can see how red it is and dark as it is compared to my neck. I'm just going to blend out the concealer that I added under my eye and just making sure that that is evenly blended. And I'm using the Milani Conceal and Perfected concealer, and I'm just adding that up right in the area where I would add my concealer, and this adds a little bit of brightness and it helps balances out the redness from the foundation. I did add some concealer onto my forehead because I wanted it to be, you know, very nice and cohesive. So as you can see, I blended out that concealer and it looks very, very flawless. It looks nice and smooth, and my forehead doesn't look as textured as it normally does. I'm going to set that concealer with my Fenty Beauty setting powder, and this is in the shade Cashew. This setting powder is very, very nice and flawless. I love the way that my under eye looked at the end. And for bronzer, I'm also using a product from Fenty Beauty, and this is their bronzer in the shade Cocoa Naughty. Just to add a little bit of warmth, even though the foundation is warm, I just wanted to warm up my cheeks. And to set the rest of the foundation, I'm using the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Powder in the shade 415. For highlighter, I'm using the Maybelline Master Chrome Highlighter in Molten Glow, and just adding that to all the places that I like to highlight: my cheeks, my forehead, and down the bridge of my nose, as well as the tip of my nose. Going back into the Norvina palette, I'm going to use that burgundy maroon shade that I added in my crease, and I'm just going to add that onto my lower lash line. And for lip liner, I'm using the ColourPop BFF3 lip liner. And I'm using the Ciate London Liquid Velvet lipstick in the shade Bittersweet. And to set, I am using the Anastasia Dewy Set Setting Mist. And once again, I'm going back into that palette, and I'm going to use the lightest shade in the palette and just add that to my inner tear duct. Have you all picked up this palette? Have you seen it in Sephora? I enjoy this palette. I love all three of them. Let me know in the comments down below if you've tried any of them. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.